Thank you. All righty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're about 4 after tonight. This is Sunday, August 30th, 2015. It's hard to believe that we're at the end of August. My word, where's the year gone? It's crazy the way that time seems to fly anymore. Before you know it, and I'm going to dread saying this, but before you know it, the old S word is going to be starting to fly, snow that is, and we're going to be wishing for this warmer weather. But having said that, I just want to thank you for joining my little broadcast. My name is Mitch Peterson. I am a father of 5. My youngest now, who we just married off in July, is 24, will be 25 in December. And my oldest is, 30-something, and I even just shudder to think about that. But have 13 grandkids, and we are just loving life at this point. I tell you, it's just amazing the blessings that God gives us. And then when He introduced us to essential oils back in December of 2013, that is what more blessing there is to be able to use the things that God has given us to allow our bodies to do what they're supposed to do. When we use the synthetic over-the-counter stuff that has a list of side effects a mile long, it's unbelievable that for all these years that we bought into that practice, and now that God has enlightened us, we just give Him the glory for that. And now our passion is that we share how to use these wonderful droplets that God gives us in bottles of oils to promote our well-being. Our why, and people ask, well, why do you do what you do? Our why, and I'm going to tell you our why by just giving you just a real quick story. Our why really dawned on me back last fall in September. I had a coworker, and I found out that her mother started using essential oils, and I found out that she had bought her starter kit, Young Living, back in June. And mind you, I'm talking to this gal in September, and I say, I said, that's really good. I said, what do you like about the oils? What's your favorite oil? And she goes, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you've got all these oils and you've had this time to use them. What is it that, what oil is your favorite oil to use? And she goes, well, I don't know. And I said, well, what do you mean you don't know? And she goes, well, we've opened the package, but we've only used one oil. I said, one oil? I said, okay, well, what oil did you use? And she said, lemon. I said, okay, well, you used lemon. What did you use it for? She said, well, we put a little bit in our water, but that was it. And I said, well, what about all the other oils? And she goes, we don't know how to use them. Evidently, the person that signed this person up and sold her the kit, which at the time was $150, didn't take the time to teach her how to use the oils. And that broke my heart in a number of different ways. One, this lady spent her hard-earned money on a product she thought that was going to help her, and she didn't know how to use it. And all she has is 11 little 15 mil or 5 mil bottle of Boat Anchor sitting on her shelf. And God has given us these amazing oils to use, and she's not benefiting from it at all. And so that was my eureka moment. That was my why moment. It really solidified to me the importance of teaching people about God's gifts in Young Living essential oils. So having said all that, and if I can get my little screen, there we go. I just want to say thank you and welcome once again. This is Essential Oils 101. I just thought it's good every once in a while to get back to the basics, to learn the basics of essential oil, to learn about the background of Young Living, why we chose Young Living, and then the benefits of the products that Young Living has to offer. Of course, we got to start out with our disclaimer. This information shared today is intended for educational purposes only. It's not been approved, it's not been evaluated by the FDA, and is not provided in order to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, illness, or injury. Anyone suffering from any disease or injury or illness should consult with the physician or medical professional of their choice. But more importantly, we also highly encourage, as we have done, Sheila and myself, Sheila being my wife, to become educated in what we're putting into our bodies, whether it's essential oils or over-the-counter products or just everyday household items that we buy. Research and educate yourself about what goes into these things. What are the detrimental sides of over-the-counter medications, let's say? You know, we watch these TV commercials, and really I have to laugh because I see TV commercials for people with high blood pressure, but yet the side effects, you know, could cause death, could cause bleeding out of the ears, and this, that, and the other. And it's like the cure that the doctors and the big pharmaceutical companies are giving us are worse than the issue that we're trying to treat. So I shy away from that. I feel that essential oils will help balance my body, to bring my body to that state where my body can work the way God intended for it to work. Okay, what are essential oils? Essential oils are the immune system or the life force of a plant. It's distilled from the plants and from the leaves, from the flowers, root, from all the different plant matters that make up an essential oil. The oils that are coming out of this plant matter can be anywhere between 100 and 10,000 times more potent than herbs or the plants that you go out and you pick yourself. So when you go down to the herb store and you get a handful of lavender, is there any benefit to it? There might be a minor, maybe a little bit of a benefit to it. Definitely tastes good in a tea, but when you are distilling the immune system of that plant and concentrating it and putting it in a bottle, we are talking about 100 to 10,000 times more potent than the plant matter themselves. For example, 1 drop of peppermint tea, or 1 drop of peppermint is equal to 26 27 cups of peppermint tea. So that just goes to show you how powerful the essential oils can be. Now, to use peppermint in a tea, a lot of people just take a toothpick, dip it in the oil, take the toothpick and put it in your peppermint tea or in your tea, and just let it soak for a minute or two. The benefits to essential oils is that the molecules are very, very small. And I could get into all the technical mumbo jumbo, and it's really, it comes down to, I'm going to throw it out there, 500 AMUs, which AMU stand for atomic mass units. In other words, the weight of the molecules of the essential oils do not exceed 500, okay? Which is very, very important, because when you are looking at the synthetics that are over the counters and prescriptions and stuff, the smallest particles in those the atomic mass unit is usually 750 AMUs or higher. In other words, your body is not going to be able to absorb that as much into your body as it would in essential oil, which the molecules are significantly smaller. Essential oils are fat soluble. That means that they will be able to be absorbed into your cells a whole lot quicker, and it will give it the ability to push the toxins out of your cells. And what I think is amazing, and even today I still can't quite get my mind around it, is that when you use essential oils, within 20 minutes, essential oils is in every cell of your body. It's just amazing how God has created us to allow that to just so quickly just rush through our bodies. And for example, put peppermint on the bottom of your feet, wait 15 or 20 minutes, and you'll start tasting it, which I think is just really cool. So who would believe that I could put oils on the bottom of my feet and taste it in my mouth without the foot taste? So, so anyways, it's just amazing stuff. Our bodies are actually bioelectric. Our bodies have frequencies. Our bodies optimally maintain a frequency of between 62 and 68 hertz. When we partake in things throughout the day, it raises and lowers the hertz of our body. And the lower the hertz goes, the more detrimental to our body it is. The higher it goes, the more beneficial. We'll see this in a chart here in a second. But you can see at the top of the screen, if you're on a computer, that I have processed foods, fresh produce, dry herbs, and fresh herbs. And the hertz, the bioelectric frequency of these products range anywhere from 0 in processed foods or no benefit whatsoever to fresh herbs, which runs about 20 to 27 hertz. Now, when you look at the screen at the bottom, you're going to see some essential oils. And the bioelectric frequency of these oils are significantly higher than even fresh herbs, which you would think fresh herbs would be very, very beneficial. The lowest is what is Melrose, and it comes in at 42 hertz. And then the maximum or the highest essential oil, the highest hertz in the essential oils that Young Living sells is Idaho Blue Spruce at 500 hertz. So it's 560 or 580. My screen says 500 plus, but I think it's 560 or 580. So in other words, it takes our bioelectric frequency in our body and it raises it that much. So it's that much of a benefit using essential oils versus going out and using fresh herbs or even eating fresh produce. Now, I'm not saying don't eat fresh produce. It's bad for you. It's not. There's a lot of vitamins and nutrients in those that we require, that we need in our body. But when trying to balance our body systems, essential oils are by far the better item to use to balance our bodily systems, whether you're talking muscular, skeletal, digestive, endocrine systems, or whatever. And this next, the next slide I'm showing you is actually showing us the different things that happen when we go throughout the day as far as the frequency of our body. As you start having negative thoughts and stuff, negative thoughts will decrease the bioelectric frequency of our body. As our body decreases in bioelectric frequency, things start happening. You get down to 58 in the bioelectric frequency and you start experiencing headaches and stuff. Get down to 57, 56, that's when the flu starts rearing its ugly head. You get down to 55 and below, you start having more serious issues like pneumonia, or stuff like that. 48 tissue breaks down. 42 hertz, our bioelectric frequency. If we reach 42, that's when cancer starts to set in. And so, as you can see, that the more detrimental our bioelectric frequency is, the more detrimental it is to our bodily systems. Having said that, God has given us essential oils, which helps to balance that. Even if you go and have some positive thoughts, that raises the bioelectric, your bioelectric system by 10 megahertz. Meditation, 15. So meditation, prayer, and so forth and so on, and it just raises from there. So just from a bioelectric frequency, you can see the benefits of essential oils. But that's kind of all pie in the sky and kind of confuses a lot of people, and that's okay. We're going to get more down to earth and talk about the oils here in just a minute. What does modern science say about essential oils? You can go to PubMed, PubMed.gov, and this is actually a governmental organization that compiles the information on studies. And you can go in and type stuff in like frankincense, lavender, and read the studies that people have done in regards to these essential oils and so forth. Very fascinating. Then you have a group like Aries. Aries is a group of people that tries to set a standard for essential oils, because believe it or not, there are no standards for essential oils. So when you go and buy essential oils from Walmart, it can be a significantly inferior product compared to going and buying essential oils from company XYZ or Young Living, which is why Aries is trying to set a standard in essential oils so that people are going to at least have the opportunity to get essential oils that are very beneficial and that they are free of toxins and chemicals. Excuse me. So having said that and alluded to the fact that there are different reliabilities in essential oils, buyer beware. You have to be careful what you're buying. There are 4 grades of essential oils, and the least being the floral waters, or the waters that the essential oils go through during the distillation process. And usually these are nature identical, they're synthetic, they're very non-existent in therapeutic qualities to it. This stuff goes into like your skin and your hair care products. When you buy shampoo that smells like lavender, 99% chance that that's not real lavender in there, or if it is, it's such a low quality lavender that there are no benefits other than it smells pretty. You've got your grade C, which is perfume grade. These are either synthetic or they can be essential oils, but they're cut with fillers. They've got other things added to them to stretch it. They'll have your solvents, they'll have your chemical compounds in it. Still very, low probability of any kind of beneficial other than just smells pretty. And these kind of things would be in like your air fresheners and candles and so forth like that. Then you got your grade B, and these are the oils that you're going to find in like Walmart or your health food stores. They may be natural and organic, but because of the way they're distilled, they can still have chemicals and solvents in them, and which really goes against the grain of what we're trying to do, is live a more chemical-free life. So if you're using essential oils to try and balance your body systems, having chemicals in that is just going to offset any kind of a benefit. Then you have your grade A pure essential oils, which Young Living would fall into this, where there are no fillers, there are no solvents involved in this. and there is not any chemicals added. Or even, as we'll get into in the whole process of growing the plants and so forth, there's no let's see, how do I want to put it? There is not any risk of herbicides and pesticides being involved in your essential oils, and we'll get into that here in just a second. The next chart that we're looking at here is pretty interesting, and when I got it, it was not colored in, and I thought coloring it in just kind of sets it off. For you that are on the phone and not able to see it, what it is, it's a chart. Across the top has different essential oil companies. It's got Young Living, Native American, let's see, Orkea, Organic Infusions, Mountain Rose Herb, doTERRA, Now essential oils. And then down on the left-hand side are 12 questions that Dr. David Stewart has come up with when evaluating the essential oils that you're using. And I won't get into all 12 because I respect your time and it would take way too much time. But I will hit on 3. The first one is, do the companies who are selling the essential oils own their own farm? That is probably one of the most important questions that you can ask. Of course, Young Living does own farms. They have 14 farms around the world. They do have partner farms that do also help grow the products that Young Living uses. Those partner farms do have to adhere to the very, very strict standards that all the Young Living farms has to adhere to. So across the top, you would see that yes, Young Living has their own farms, and let's see, 6 out of the 7 other ones do not own their own farms, and only 1 is a question mark. Well, the question mark is there because they refuse to answer the question. So if you refuse, in my mind, to answer the question, why do you, if your product is so good and you're so proud of it and you own your own farms, why would you refuse to answer the question? So anyways, that one company just refused to answer it. The next is, do they distill without using solvents? Once again, Young Living, yes, they do distill without using solvents. 6 out of the 7 other ones, no, they don't distill without using solvents. And then 1 other company just refused to answer the question. Now, I do got to say there are 2 oils that Young Living does distill using solvents. They call these absolutes. And these 2 oils, let's see, I'm trying to remember which 2 they are. They are, oh, what is it? Jasmine is one, and there's 1 other one, and it's not a, it's what? Oh, Neroli. Neroli is the other one. Thank you. Those are the 2. They do use solvents in those. It is labeled on their bottle not to ingest those 2 products because they don't want you to be putting chemicals into your bodies. These are something that you would use topically only. But those are the only 2 products out of the 400 plus products that Young Living has that they, that they do this. And the reason why they do it is that the plants are so delicate, that's the only way they're able to get any kind of essential oil out of it. So once again, there are 2 that Young Living does, but only 2. So that, which is significant. And then the third one I'm going to throw out there is, do they bottle their own oils? Well, out of the 8 companies that are polled here, Young Living does, and there are 2 others that do also, which kudos to them. That's a good thing. 4 of the other ones do not bottle their own oils, so they don't know what's happening from the time that the oil is purchased to the time it's bottled. Who knows what happens in between there. And then once again, one other company refuses to answer the question, which, once again, in my mind, if you refuse to answer, that's a no in my mind. This next slide is, once again, some other essential oil companies, same questions asked. And I'm not going to get into all of them. And you can see here, Windermere does distill without using solvents, but they do use solvents in their jasmine, and they were forthright with that, which I appreciate. I'm not going to put down another company. I mean, they're being honest, and at least you know what they're getting in their product. Okay, so having said all this, what sets Young Living apart from all the other essential oil companies, to my knowledge, in the world? Excuse me. The thing that sets Young Living apart from all the other essential oil companies in the world is what we call the 5-step process, or the seed to seal process. This is something that Young Living does to ensure that you are getting a pure product. And we'll go through those 5 here rather quickly. The seeds are plant species specific. In other words, you have all these different species of lavender out there, but Young Living makes sure that the lavender that they are using is species specific. In other words, there's only one kind of lavender that they use, one species, and they have it authenticated that these seeds are from that one species. They're non-GMO. They use universities in partnership in determining these species, and that these are authentic and the very best, the very strongest seeds, the most viable seeds that can be got. The next is cultivate, which is a very, very important thing in my mind. And the reason why I say that is that Young Living, owning their own farms, 14 of them around the world, the farms that they own has to be virgin ground. And what I mean by that is that the farmland can never have had herbicides and pesticides used on the grounds. Young Living doesn't want any chance of outside contaminants getting into their essential oils. They want only the very purest essential oil to be sold. The next is distillation. Young Living distills their product at the very lowest pressure possible, the very lowest heat possible, to get the most beneficial oil product out of that plant. Having said that, when you distill plants, it has to be very, very specific to get the very highest quality oil out of the plant. Distilling it too long will destroy all the beneficial properties. Distilling it not long enough won't extract the beneficial properties out of the essential oils. So Gary Young, having had this, started doing all this 25 years ago, has extensively researched the optimal amount of time, pressure, and temperature to get the oils out of the plant matter with the very highest beneficial properties that can be done. Also, the distillers, or what we call the cookers, are made out of surgical stainless steel. Why surgical stainless steel? Because during the process, if you use other metals, copper or something like that, actually the chemicals and the metals leach into the essential oils, thus contaminating the oils. And here's a good example. How many people have taken a copper penny when they were younger and stuck it in their mouth? And what happens when you do that? You taste the copper. So in that same sense, when you're cooking the plant matter, if Gary Young used copper in it, you're gonna start extracting some of the chemical compounds out of the copper, which would contaminate the oils. So Gary Young has designed these stainless steel distillers, and by the way, these are patented. There are none other ones like it in the entire world, and the only ones that are out there are only in use by or only in use on Young Living farms. So that's how fanatical, I guess, to put it, and that's not saying this in a bad way, Gary Young is about distilling pure essential oils. The next is testing. Each farm has its own lab. Each batch is tested to make sure that you are getting the highest quality essential oil out of each batch, so these are consistent. Having said that, they also will send the oils out to an outside company just to get independent verification that the same information that Young Living is getting is being verified by an independent source, so that they know that what they're actually getting is what they're putting in their bottles and the outcome that Gary Young likes and wants. And then finally, seal. Gary Young, when they do ship their oils, only ships in glass or stainless steel containers. Essential oils will not touch anything else, but Gary Young bottles his own essential oils so that Gary Young knows from the time the seed is purchased and put in the ground to the end product that we get when we receive it home is exactly the very highest standard that can be done. Gary Young is that fanatical. He is that, I don't want to say fanatical, he is that passionate about his essential oils and making sure that we get the very best product possible. Having said that, yeah, these aren't the cheapest essential oils out there. I'm going to throw that out there. But once again, when it comes to essential oils, you get what you pay for. So if you're going to go to Walmart and you're going to buy essential oils from there, you have no clue where that oil is grown. You have no clue if there's pesticides or herbicides used. You have no clue how they're distilled. Gary Young, when he distills, let's say lavender, he'll distill one batch of lavender, and then when that batch comes out, that lavender plant material goes out to the compost heap. He does not keep cooking it and keep cooking it, turning up the heat and turning up the pressure to get every drop of essential oil, because he knows that after the first distillation of plant matter, the rest is, there's very little to zero beneficial compounds left in that. So other oil companies, you don't know what you're getting, especially when they don't want to answer the questions. They don't invite you out to where their farms are. Young Living, you can go to their farms. You can take part in planting and harvesting, of seeing the labs. You can't go in the labs because they're clean rooms, but you can see them. You can see the bottling process. You see it from the seed to the seal. And Gary Young encourages his the people that purchase Young Living oils to go visit the farms, take part in it. It's a life-changing experience. And we went last year, and we look forward to going back out to Mona, Utah next year, to the lavender farm out there and partaking in that again. It's a very significant experience. This slide here is just some of the farms that are out there. I know it says 12 here. There's a couple more that's been added. Excuse me. The newest one being in Croatia, where they grow Hill Chrysum. And you ask, well, why can't they grow this stuff here, or where they don't have to ship it and everything? Well, climate makes the difference. The soil conditions for that climate, the temperature, the rain amount, and everything makes a difference in the quality of essential oil that you get. Can we grow helichrysum here? Yeah, we can grow it here, but you're not going to have the very best plant product available than if you went to Croatia, where it grows in the wild, and it's a very high quality oil that you get out of those plants. Here it would be significantly cheaper to do it here, but it would be a significantly inferior product too. And Gary Young, once again, is that passionate about going to the extra mile to make sure you're getting the very best product available. This, once again, the picture of some distillers here. Once again, the plants are free of herbicides and pesticides, low pressure, low temperature, surgical stainless steel, and of course, very stringent testing. And I've gone over that over and over and over again, and he just wants the very best product. Okay, now we're going to get into how do you use essential oils. And I go through all this because it's important. One, to know where your oils are coming from, and two, it's important to how do you use your essential oils. Well, there's three ways that you do this. One, you use it aromatically. You can open up the bottle. You can put a little in your hands, rub it in your hands to activate, and cup it over your face. And you can inhale it. You can, I'll just go to the next slide, which talks about this. You can inhale it. You can diffuse it. And when you diffuse essential oils, do not use any heat, because heat will alter the properties of essential oil. So the essential oil, the diffusers that you use, you want them to be ultrasonic. In other words, on the bottom of the diffuser is a low plate, and the low plate vibrates back and forth at a very significant rate, and it causes the water to bubble and the vapors to come out. And this is what causes the vapors coming out of your diffuser. Or you can put them on tissues, put them in front of a humidifier or something like that. We love our diffusers. We probably have 4 diffusers in our homes, or in our home, excuse me, in our bedroom, several in our living room. I have one for my car, the Orb. I love it. It's a USB. It's wonderful when you're traveling, and you can just pick your oil, put it in there, and life is good. Just a picture of 2 of the diffusers. You have the roast top on the left, the purple one, or they call it the home diffuser. A very nice diffuser, does around 260 square feet or so. And then the one on the right is the bamboo diffuser. Very aesthetically, very pleasing. The lights are very non-intrusive, so they're very good for the bedrooms. And the bamboo one does about 320 square feet. So it does a little bit more. Usually the bamboo diffuser, I think, is maybe $10 more than the home diffuser. But very, very nice diffusers there. Of course, there's a lot of other options out there as well. The next way to use essential oils is topically. So 2 things when we talk about essential oils and putting them on, you need to understand the difference between neat and diluted. Neat being straight out of the bottle and putting it on your skin, applying it to the area of concern. If you're not familiar with essential oils, probably the best thing to do is just take a drop or so and put a little bit just maybe on the inside of your wrist, and just give it a minute to see if it will give you a little tingly sensation, something that might be a little bit uncomfortable. If you don't get any of those, then you feel free to put it on your body in the area of concern. If it does seem like it's a little uncomfortable, you can do what we call diluted. You just add another fatty-based oil to it. Coconut oil. Young Living has their V6 oil, which is a very nice oil. Olive oil, something like that, because essential oils are fat soluble. What I mean by that is essential oils will dilute very nicely in another oil. If you happen to get essential oils in your eyes, Don't use water. Water will intensify the effect of the oils. I've experienced peppermint in my eyes before, and it was not a very pleasant experience, but the minute I added some olive oil to my eyes, the uncomfortableness, if that's a word, went away. And I didn't even have any redness in my eyes or anything, which was just amazing to me. So there were no detrimental side effects or anything like that. So if it is something that's maybe what we call a warm or a hot oil, something like oregano, peppermint, just try it. Some people are sensitive to it, some people are not. Thieves oil may be a little warm, and we'll get into the different oils here in a minute. If they are, just add some oils to some coconut oil, olive oil, or something. Or you can put it in your bath. If you're going to use essential oils in your bath, I recommend that you put some Epsom salt in your hand or in a cup. Add however many drops of oils you want to that and mix it in real good. And what that does, it allows the oils to cling to the salt molecules instead of just putting it straight into the water, because you know what happens when you add oil to water. It separates, it floats, it causes a slick on top, it clings to the sides of the bathtubs. So the bathtub gets the benefit of the essential oils and you don't. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to deprive my bathtub of the benefits of the oils. And then the other is dietary or ingest is what they're talking about here, actually taking essential oils and ingesting it. You can do that in a glass of water, in a shot of Ningxia Red. If you don't know what Ningxia Red is, it's a very wonderful antioxidant drink. Juice. I have a piece of bread on here, but I'm not going to waste oil on bread. You can put some in honey or maple syrup. But the method of choice for us mostly is buying some clear vegetable capsules. Young Living sells them. You can buy them online through Amazon very, very inexpensively. Add however many drops of oils to it and just take it just like you would a pill. And it's a very nice way to take it. Or the other way, really to get one of the most benefits from the essential oil is in a suppository. And that's because it is absorbed very, very quickly and very, very efficiently when used in that form. Okay, so having talked about all this stuff, you're saying, come on, Mitch, get to the oils. Let's talk about it. Well, here we go. The first one we're going to talk about is lavender. Lavender is the Swiss Army knife of oils. If you don't know what to use lavender. It is a very, very calming, soothing scent. When it is at the end of the day, the wife and myself, I diffuse lavender in our bedroom when we go to bed. It just helps you unwind from the stress of the day. Great way to eliminate odors in the house. And you can also add it to your shampoos, lotions, so forth like that. I will say that talking about these essential oils, what I am describing here is by far not all the uses of essential oils. I ask as I start off here, and I'll say several times throughout the rest of this presentation, do your research. Get books on essential oils and find out the myriad of benefits of essential oils that are out there. So what I describe here tonight is just going to be a very, very superficial descriptions. Most of it just describing in general terms as to the body systems and stuff. And so do your research. What's the word I'm looking for? Get reference guides, reference material on essential oils, and you'll see a whole world open up before you. The next one's peppermint. I love peppermint. It is great for your digestive system. It is very, very nice for unwinding when you've had a very stressful day. A lot of times I'll take peppermint, I'll put it in my hands, and I'll rub it on my neck, on the base of my skull, and it just helps relieve all that tension from just a very stressful day. It's great putting it on areas of concern after exercise. Very refreshing. Another use for peppermint, which I didn't realize, is that when you're working outside and it's very, very hot outside, put some peppermint to the back of your neck and you'll get a cooling effect from it. And which really, really surprised me, but it is wonderful. Very, very, very nice. Lemon, once again, many, many uses for lemon. We add it to our water. One, it's just a refreshing change from just plain old water. Very good for the digestive system. It's a very uplifting oil. It is, surprisingly enough, when you add it to tap water and so forth, it neutralizes chlorine in your water. And chlorine, if you do any research whatsoever, is very, very harmful to your body. So lemon will help neutralize it. We carry a bottle of lemon with us when we go out to eat, because I don't know what Pedro in the back, what he's been doing all day long, so I don't know where his hands have been. So those lemon wedges that you get, I don't know if they're clean or whatever. So anyways, very, very refreshing. Once again, do your research on these. Frankincense. I love frankincense. Frankincense is what I call an oil that just helps ground you. It helps centers you. When you in a hectic day and you go into your closet and you spend time in meditation, frankincense is wonderful to either diffuse, to put it on you, to put it on your neck, over your heart, on your wrist, to help you in that time of meditation, to ground you. Very, very nice scent. Also, many, many other uses. Once again, get your guides to help understand all the uses of it. Copaiba is a oil that is very good for the muscular system after a long, strenuous day out in the yard or whatever. It has a lot of constituents or properties in there that is beta-caryophyll and alpha-humulines. If you're not sure what those are, go ahead and look them up. There's a lot of benefit to Copaiba. We use Copaiba almost daily. It's a very, very important part of our routine. Panaway. Panaway is an oil that, one, it has spearmint and wintergreen in it, I believe. It has clove in it. A very uplifting oil. Once again, it's another oil that's very, very good to use after you've done some strenuous exercises, worked out in the yard, a stressful day at work. You can just apply those to the areas of concern. Digize. My wife cannot live without Digize. We keep Digize in our home, in her purse. It is very, very beneficial to the digestive system. We also take Essential-Zyme 4, which is a couple of capsules that are high in enzymes and so forth, and Digize augments that very, very nicely. So when we've been out eating and we feel the effects of eating too much or so forth, then it's very, very nice for the digestive system. It does, and my thing shows here, it does have fennel in it, which dates way back to ancient Egypt. They've seen references to fennel in papyrus and on hieroglyphics. So very, very beneficial. Purification, very, very nice oil. Helps eliminate odors. You add it to animal scents. If you don't know what animal scents is, it's an ointment to help moisturize the skin. When you've been out fighting the weeds and the branches and stuff, it's very, very good to apply topically when you lose in those battles. It has high in neurols and senols. And and once again, you can look the senols and neurols up, find out the benefits of those in their body. But once again, purification is something that we do not go without in our homes or in our home. Thieves. Thieves is probably in my top 3 essential oils. Thieves is very high in cinnamon, lemon, and clove. We do not start the winter season without thieves. Thieves we use as a dietary supplement in our everyday regimen. I also use thieves, believe it or not, as part of my oral health. I do not use toothpaste. No, I'm not gross. I do not use toothpaste because what I do is I'll take my toothbrush, I'll dip it in some baking soda, I'll put 3 drops of thieves on it, and that's what I brush my teeth with. And you talk about a refreshing mouth. Oh, my word. I was shocked at how fresh my breath was. A word of caution. Thieves is a hot oil. It's very strong in clove. So if you decide to try using thieves, I recommend that you start out with 1 drop and work your way up. I use 3 on my toothbrush now. I love the taste of thieves. Just once again, just very nice to your oral health. It helps maintain a very healthy respiratory system, especially now that the winter months are quickly approaching us. It's something that we keep several bottles in our home. RC is one of those oils that is very good for the respiratory system. It's something that you can put on the bottom of your feet before you go to bed, and you get a lot of benefit as I would liken it to putting Vicks on the bottom of your feet and so forth. It's just, once again, applying essential oils to your feet is a very good place to apply oils because it very quickly enters your body and spreads throughout your whole bodily system. Sorry about the little pop-up there. I pushed something. So the next one is Stress Away. Stress Away is something that I keep at my desk. The reason being is the label says it all, Stress Away. I work in a very high stressful environment, and when it is just getting very stressful, that's something I keep in a diffuser in a chain around my neck, something I'll apply to my hands, a cup over my nose. I'll even apply it under my nose because I'm not going to sit at my desk in a room full of other people with my hands over my face and everybody going, "What the world are you doing? Are you crazy?" So anyways, so Stress Away is something I personally cannot live without. I know another way people use Stress Away is they'll put it under their tongues. I haven't done it yet, but my wife has, and that's the way that she uses it. I just haven't mustered up the courage to do it yet. No reason. On my slide here, you see it has lavender in it. It has lime. I've ingested both of them. So I'm sure it's not bad. It's just working up the courage to do it. So, so anyways, it's just one of those things. It also has vanilla in it, has ocotillo, cedarwood. Cedarwood is very nice for using at the end of the evening when you're wanting to unwind as well. Okay, so I've talked about all these oils, and you're wondering, how do I get these oils? Well, you can purchase the oils, and you can purchase a diffuser, and you can purchase some sample packets and stuff. But if you did this separately, it would cost you $300+ to purchase all this. Or Young Living has put it all in a nice package for us, has given us 11 oils, given us a choice of a diffuser. Now, depending on the diffuser, the price may fluctuate a little bit. Generally, it's, let's see, tomorrow is the last day at the $10 off. After tomorrow, they go back up to $160 for the kit. But you get 11 oils, you get a diffuser, you get 10 sample bottles, so that way you can give samples to your friends. You get a roller top, which is very, very nice for using with peppermint and so forth. Get a couple of little other sample bottles and samples of Ningxia Red. This is the best value for your dollar. You can purchase all this separately, spend $300, or you can buy the kit for $160. And the benefit of also buying the kit is that once you buy the kit, then any other oils that you purchase at a wholesale price, not retail price. Having said that, you are more than welcome to go to Young Living's website and purchase oils from them at the retail price. The difference between wholesale and retail is 24%, so there's significant savings there if you purchase the kit and you're a retail member. Your only obligation is to spend $50 a year to retain the wholesale membership status. But the choice is yours. If you do happen to go to Young Living, just make sure that when you go to Young Living and order your oils at the retail price, talk to the person that directed you or started talking to you about Young Living. Get their member number and just put that in there so that Young Living will recognize how these new people are associated with the member, and that would help them out immensely there. So we've talked about the essential oils. We've talked about where they come from, the differences in between essential oils, and the importance of knowing where your essential oils come from. We've talked about how you use essential oils. We've talked about several of the essential oils themselves. Now you have a choice to make. Do you want to continue to use over-the-counter and pharmaceuticals and all the side effects and the chemicals and synthetics that come along with that? Or you can choose Young Living essential oils and know with confidence that you are getting 100% pure product. And really, the choice is yours. You know, we're adults. If you choose not to use Young Living essential oils, I won't think any less of you. You know, you're adults. I just want you to make an informed decision. That is the most important part. Make an informed decision. Do your research. Don't take my word for any of this. I'm just a layman. I don't have a PhD. I am not a doctor. I'm fallible. I want you to come to your own conclusions. Don't just regurgitate what I say. Study it out. Know what you're doing, one way or the other. And then if you're comfortable with the choice that you make, then that's all that matters. But you need to make that choice. You need to make it with informed information. That is really the end of my presentation. We are part of Anointing Nations. That is a group of 7,000 strong, if I remember right now, people who are passionate about educating, inspiring, and empowering you to know, use, and love essential oils to the very best of your ability. Know with confidence that if you're part of the Anointing Nation team, you will not have a lack of opportunities to learn about essential oils. We teach 2 nights a week. We have all kinds of opportunities. If you go to anointingnations.com and go to their calendar, they have stuff going on all over the country, classes and so forth. Please check that out. If you are interested in becoming a Young Living member, I do ask that you talk to the person that directed you to my webinar. They will be more than happy to help you out, show you how to do it expediently and accurately, and give you the ability to purchase the oils, have them shipped directly to your home. If you just stumbled upon my little webinar, you're more than welcome to contact us, Two Sisters Essential Oil at gmail.com. If you wish to sign up, you can go to the yl.pe/5C code. That's up there on the, I'm going to minimize that so you can see it all. The yl.pe/5QC code. That'll help you to get signed up on, using my information. But I'm going to say it once. I'm going to say it 100 times. If somebody's already talked to you about essential oils, Young Living essential oils, please talk to that person. Don't seek me out. Don't put in my information. Talk to those people. They will love to help you out. That's all I really have right now. What I'm going to do is, I think I have the ability here. I am going to unmute everybody. If anybody has a question, I will be more than happy. Just getting a little feedback. Yes. Okay, sorry about that. Had a little feedback going on. My wife, believe it or not, is sitting next to me watching me do the webinar, and she's watching me on the computer at the same time. So we're getting some feedback there, and I apologize. If anybody has a question, please feel free to ask. I'll give you ample time to ask it. I will do my best to answer. If I don't know, I'll do my best to get the information for you. And feel free to ask away if you have a question. Okay, well, if there is no questions, I want to thank you again for joining me every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. I do webinars. I have guests on sometimes. We do different webinars throughout the month, and on all different kind of subjects: body systems, how to detox your world, gentle babies, all kind of different things. So please feel free to join in on Sunday nights. And we look forward to seeing you again. Once again, thank you. If you have questions, please feel free to email me, and I'll do my best to answer them. Two Sisters Essential Oils, the number 2, at gmail.com. Thank you, and you all have a very good evening. And God's best.
Thank you.